Welcome to Bunnies TV, live and free from Redfern Oval. And it's about 20 degrees down here, a little light southerly blowing, and we've got a big clash between teams 4th and 5th on the ladder, respectively. That's the Penrith Panthers, the boys from the foot of the mountain, up against the might of the South Sydney Rabbitohs, who have been on a bit of a winning streak themselves. I'm going to be joined here by my co-host from Bunnies TV, Steve Maven. Darren Brown's still on his way. Welcome to Redfern. Maver?
Welcome to Redfern, welcome to Bunnies TV, live and free. What a game this promises to be, chaps. The Jersey Flegg, they're running 5th at the moment on the ladder. We're taking on the Tigers, who are running 4th, so they're on the same points. The Panthers have got a little bit better differential. They're on plus 37. We're on minus 9, but it doesn't matter. They've had 4 wins each. And we haven't done a stream for a while, chaps. I'm pumped for this one. You've done a bit of homework. Viewers, you listen to Chaps' call here. He's all over it. And we're going to just pan down here to the coaching, a couple of coaches. There's Tippy. You just had a word to him, chaps. Any news from the coach?
Tippy, I'm pretty sure we're 1-17, the Rabbitohs. He's just been happy with the fight in this club. The last couple of weeks, they've grown every single week. We haven't got any absolute out-and-out superstars in our side here. They're just a team of workers from 1-17. First opportunity of the season for number 17, Archie Donnelly, a local junior from the Coogee Wombats Club. Coogee Wombats fold in the A grade. He's had to go over to Maddo Tigers this season, and I'm looking forward to him. He's an absolute workhorse.
Well, hang on a minute. No superstars in our flag team. Are you forgetting who's playing fullback, or the kid on the wing? Or?
Well, I'm just saying.
Well, who are some players to
Talking
watch?
up our team as a dead set football team. Look, the players to watch, obviously, it starts at number 1, the mercurial talent. I think Mick Tasker from the Borough has named him the Gazelle. That's Tyrone Munro. Ty Mun's his nickname.
Yep.
The way he moves, this kid, his instinct for the game is pretty special. I could see him sitting on a left wing, replacing AJ in a couple of years when he hangs him up, and he'll do another 10 years, just like Nathan Merritt did before AJ.
Maybe even fullback, chaps, if once Trell. Well, Trell's going to be around for quite a while. So.
Look, the other big names are Josiah Karapani, coming off a double last week. Dropped back from New South Wales Cup just to get a bit of confidence, and he's got more than confidence. He was outstanding, nearly the player of the match last week down there in Melbourne, where they had a nice win. The other one's Hazen Mellors, the boy from Brisbane, who, again, just a lot. He's got the world at his feet. Big kid. He had an outstanding try against the Bulldogs just a fortnight ago in the driving rain on a crossfield kick from Joey Nora. Leapt up, high-pointed the ball at contact, come around, ripped it around under the post, and put the ball down so hard he nearly broke his arm under the post with excitement as they beat the Bulldogs there a couple of weeks ago.
Chaps, I've got the Panthers on the screen, and I saw them walk out. There's some big boys in this squad, and you've had a bit of a look at them. They go all right.
Yeah, they go all right, boys. I mean, the Panthers are probably a good time to get them too, because they got a SG Ball semi-final on today. So there's a couple of those guys that will come up, like some of our boys who have come up.
Right.
Your Ty Munros and Josiah Karapani's, Hayes Mellors, Thomas Fletcher's, they've all come up into this side.
Yep.
They've obviously made an immediate impact. But look, speaking to our man on the hill, Benny Hill, who's actually at the game today, he said Harrison Hassett, the number 11, using the Australian schoolboys in the scrum with our boy Thomas Fletcher, of the Australian schoolboys second rowers.
Yeah, good info.
Samuel Lane is a good young player, the fullback. And there's a Papali in the team. Papali'i, number 3. Angles, Hotare, Papali'i. He's a number 3. He's an exciting guy. Look, he's a left centre. A little bit like that Crichton in the first grade side, Stephen Crichton, who he had a bit of a barrier the other night. He only scored 18 points on his own.
Scored all
their points.
Yeah.
A bit like Adam Reynolds in 2018 semi-final, where he scored all 13 points against the Dragons.
Yeah.
There's some good players in this side. I like Connor Mason, the hooker. The lock is very similar to Isaiah Yeo. Billy Scott, his name is. Real link man. He's normally that first point of contact to start the shifts left to right. The goal kicker is Luke Philp. He's a good young player as well. And I like the halfback, Riley Smith, who won the SG Ball grand final last year. The hooker position. He's a good young prospect. He jumps in. Left foot, halfback on left foot, halfback today. We've got Joey Nora on our side, who's been the orchestra. He's had a couple of field goals this year, real crucial field goals. And look, I like the way he goes about his footy.
He is a good player. I filmed him Put on a beautiful try a month or two ago. He kicks, regathers, scores himself or picks someone up. So Joseph Nora, great organiser, electric with the ball and kicks goals to boot. So have a look for him. Just got the refs on screen, our valuable referees.
Yeah, the boys are warming up out there now. Welcome to all you viewers online. Just let us know if the sound
I've already checked
coming
the chaps.
through loud and
Thank
clear.
you. And I've already done a check.
Just to double check it.
So thanks to the live chatters. And chaps, just go through that list there. You can have a look at my phone or have a look at on the thing. Who's live chatting? Who has joined us?
Well, PC's on there. Hello to PC. It's Paul Cullen. We got Mananaki. G'day, mate. Rob Trelaw, the Kingpin Info. He says, great weekend for the Bunnies. Well, we might make it 3 from 3 because we won the New South Wales Cup the other day on the bell with the try to Cody Hodge, the way he brought it in.
Nice.
It was a beautiful pass from an unsung hero in that side for Malia Chanfun.
Yeah.
Just a little catch and pass. And he was good last year too, Chanfun. So
yep.
I was happy for him. Ned Kelly's online. He's always online. Paul Delaney. Yeah, they're all there. Look, just send us a comment if you want to stand out. You can throw a super chat in there. Rob Trelaw, been a member for 10 months. You can see his comment stands out there. Paul Cullen's a member. We've got plenty of members there online, and
yep.
You get exclusive content. You get videos that the general public don't get.
You do, and you can become a member. There's a description of this video, drop-down box, and there's a link you click. And, yeah, we appreciate it if you support us on the show.
And, look, hasn't been too long since you were down there, Mavo, at Redfern Oval. Now, were you down here yesterday? Was there something on yesterday or nothing doing? It was a big event down here.
It was the John Sattler Memorial. Cashy was just trying to tell me something there. Cashy, what are you trying to say? Oh, the Burgess, did you say?
I do. That's he's related to Joey Nora.
Oh yeah, I can see him, and I'll get him on camera because that's a good spot there because he's wearing the black hoodie there. He's behind the Adam Dewey,
former Rabbitohs. He's a
Rabbitoh.
good footballer, isn't he?
Yeah,
I feel sorry for him. Apparently he's out for 16 months.
Yeah, he's got a bit of time on his hands, Sads, too, because he's
third Rico on the same knee.
Yeah, there he is there. So we might look around in a sec, but
it's tragic.
Should get him up for a chat, chaps, if he's available. But
I don't know.
So I think that could be one.
We might go through the lineups just before they run out there.
Yeah, let's do that.
We've still got a couple of minutes till 1 o'clock, which is the scheduled kickoff time.
Yep.
Don't know if we're going to be behind, but we'll go with the visitors first. Samuel Lane at fullback. On the wings, Luke Philp and Addison Williams. In the centres, Ingles, Hotore, Papali'i. In the centres with Cody Lawson, number 4. The 6 is Christian Lemai. Number 7 is Riley Smith. In the front row, we've got number 8, John Sagaga. Number 9, Connor Mason. Number 10, Sunita Lotu and I. And then Harrison Hassett. Number 11. Number 12 is Riley Wake. Number 13, Billy Scott. Number 14, Leighton Finau. Number 16, Elia Tua. Number 19, Fletcher Haycock. Number 17 comes into the squad, Jai Weinbergen.
Now, chaps, I'd like to mention that we've had a couple of super chats and super stickers, and I think Rob Trelaw's given us one for $10.
What about Nicky Bird?
Nicky Bird, $31. So thank you for that, legends. Now, like I said before, you can become a member of the channel, or you can just give us one-off thank yous like that for the work we do, because we are doing this off our own bat. You know, we're sacrificing our Saturday, middle of the day, to come in here and call this game and connect the Rabbitohs community. So that is fantastic, boys. When you do comment like that, chat stands out. And we stop the show, chaps, and we thank the people that do it. So thank you to those two guys. Those two guys that just did that, Rob Trelaw and Nicky Fletcher, are both huge supporters of the Rabbitohs and huge supporters of us here, Bunnies TV. So we love your work,
Might
boys.
just go through the Rabbitohs lineup.
Yeah, do that, chaps. Sorry.
Roll out there. Fullback Tyrone Munro. On the wing, Carson Kao, Hazen Mellors. In the centres, Tyrell Kalo and Josiah Karapani. In the halves, Caelan Bray, Joey Nora. In the front row, Louis Grosmi, William Abu Aranje, hooker Romano Cook, Cruz Tweedy, Thomas Fletcher in the back row, and James Kokinos. Look for him. He's got a high work rate. A great lock forward in the Cameron Murray mould.
Yep.
Trey Mercy, that's Latrell's brother-in-law. Charlie Varka from the Southeastern Seagulls last year, A-grade, grand final. Liam LeBlanc down from Queensland is a great young player, and making his debut this season is Archie Donnelly, a little ranger. It's like a blue cattle dog, mate. He just goes all day. He'll give you everything he's got. One of the bravest young players you'll ever see put on a South jersey, and his father wasn't too bad himself. So
Bull was a good
as the
player.
Panthers take the field in the pink jerseys, and they do stand out in pink jerseys, don't they, Mova?
No, you can't miss them, but here comes the Bunnies.
As they get a couple of claps from the crowd here at the hallowed turf at Redfern Oval. Now, the ashes of Johnny Sattler were scattered yesterday, Mavo, down the city end.
Right there underneath the
Down
post.
the Paddington end, and we'll see what happens. That might be where the winning try happens today, because that's what Scott said. He had a conversation with his father, and he said, I'd like my ashes to be scattered on Redfern Oval, if it's all right with the club. Well, I'll tell you what, it was more than all right with the club, and they put on a great ceremony.
Yeah, and I was lucky enough to be there to witness that, chaps, to film it. George Piggins, Ron Coote and Bob McCarthy took turns to spread the ashes of their former mate, so it was really touching. And Scott Sattler, I just have to say, what a champion bloke. You know, everyone talks about how great a man his dad was, and Dad's obviously drummed into Scott the values of life, and he's a top bloke, and we'll move on.
We're underway. Riley Smith goes down to Joey Nora, and he hands it off to Louis Grosmere to get us underway. 12, 13 metres out from their goal line, the Rabbitohs, is Romano Cook. Crafty number 9 gets into action as we start to roll it up through William Abu Orange. We're going to go right again. There's Coquinos. He's got a lot of strapping on today. Coach told me he hasn't stopped working all season, so he's one of them blokes that he's going to be playing injured at this time of the year as Josiah Karapani off that left foot. He's got some leg drive about him. Got some great form in this age group.
Scored a good try last week.
Scored 2 good tries last week, actually, Mavo. Yeah,
there you go. Yep.
Couple down that right-hand side. It's going to be a good matchup, actually. Their left edge is pretty hot up against our right edge. Probably the two strengths of the two squads is the fullback, Tyron Murrow, just puts a nice bit of a shallow kick, caught on the 30-metre line as the Penrith Panthers look to ruck it out. We've got number 17 there, young Donnelly, getting through some defensive work, and he's just chopped them in half there, 40 metres out. Told you he's got a high work rate, and he's brave as hell.
Yes, he has.
As the halfback, former hooker Riley Smith, gets them inside Rabbitohs territory as they play the ball. Goes out to the big number 8, John Sagaga. Johnny Sagaga looks like a likely type. Bit of a mullet there, Mavo, again. They love a mullet in this age group, don't they?
Yeah, they love one out Penrith way. Welcome to all our Penrith Panthers fans that are watching. We try and be fair on the call.
But we are Bunnies TV here, live and free, as Riley Smith looks to look a set play down the right-hand side. As goes out to right centre. Cody Lawson, he looks like a likely customer. I think we've seen him here at Redfern Oval last year in the SG Ball, so he's one to look out for as they hand it over to number 12, Riley Wake. And he takes some stop and 3. South Sydney Rabbitohs to wrestle him to the ground, including Donnelly. As we go to the hooker, Mason. Long ball out to Billy Scott. And he hands it off to one of his forwards on the left-hand side. Couldn't see the number there. Apologies. It was the big number 10. Smith off his left foot. Looks like they got a ricochet. 6 again. And the Rabbitohs have got hold of it.
They got it back.
Got hold of it. A metre out. As we go wide to Billy Scott. Billy Scott turns big. Sagaga underneath. The boys are equal to it. They look like they're setting up something on the right-hand side here. As they shape to the left. They like the numbers here. It's a 3-on-3.
Oh, caught him high.
He's gone a bit high there, but it was at the same time that was a tackle that had to be made. And it was made over there by the number 11, Cruz Tweedy.
Yep.
Who I think was from Penrith originally. And the Rabbitohs picked him up from the North Sydney Bears.
Yep.
As they get it out to the talented Harrison Hassett.
Oh.
And he doesn't go too far from the goal line himself. Plays it out the back to Billy Scott. Riley Smith. Looks like there's a little ricochet off the arm of Joey Nora, who was pushing up, trying to shut those edges down as Lawson brings it back about 16, 17 metres out from the South Sydney Rabbitohs goal line. Billy Scott dummies, goes himself. Riley Smith barking instructions out the back. He wants something here. Riley Smith looks to the flat man, the big number 12, and that's Riley Wake. Bunnies are numbering up here after some real early pressure. They've only had the ball the one time as Billy Scott turns Sagaga underneath. As we go left. The big front rower, number 8. That's Sagaga there. Slow play the ball. It's just gone back to the other forward. Sunita, number 10. Just trying to keep it around the post here. They haven't gone wide yet. Nice little left foot kick from Riley Smith. And that's sustained pressure there by the Panthers, and the Rabbitohs have got to defend another set. Do they go to short dropout? I know everyone in first grade seems to go for the short dropout.
Yeah, well, we were 0-1 the other night, but yeah, well, it's you can't argue with the short dropout, chaps, because it's a 50-50 and you're gaining possession, but they're not going to do it.
No, we've gone long in this grade. Not confident enough to do something like that as big number 10, Sunita, brings it about 30 out from the Rabbitohs line. Nice quick play the ball as Mason tries to take advantage of it. Young Connor Mason offload out the back to Billy Scott. Billy Scott back to Sunita. And he's wrestled to the ground about 12, 13 metres out from the Bunnies line. Billy Scott out the back to Riley Smith. Turns underneath. Riley Wake. The boys are just numbering up here, the South Sydney Rabbitohs, as Billy Scott. He touches the ball a lot, this lock forward, a lot like Isaiah Yeo and Cameron Murray. As Papali'i comes off the left foot and 2-3 tacklers to take him down. Very slow play the ball. Could be an infringement as they go left to Hassett, I think it is. And that is great defence by the South Sydney Rabbitohs. That is great defence. And I think Coach Tippy O'Connell will be pretty happy with that, Mavo.
Yeah. Well, I've just got to hold him out for this set. It'll be a brave effort.
A lot of in and sort of out in balls around the middle of the ruck from Scott back to Sunita and Sagaga. As Scott gets the ball, dummies to Sagaga, beats the first tackle of Donnelly, and a couple of the boys rip him to the ground, and Mason gets it out to Riley Smith. They're up pretty quick, the Rabbitohs.
Oh.
He's gone down, and just a little bobble there.
Yeah, unlucky.
Louis Grosmy.
Louis, yeah.
This is 4 or 5 sets on the line.
Yeah, gee.
And they're showing some toughness here, this 21 side, Mavo.
They are, mate. Yeah, to hold them out a good side like this for 3 sets. You've got Grant Chappell on the mic here calling. Steve Maven, former Rabbitoh, on the camera and adding comments. Darren Brown could be here a bit later, our third co-host. We've got Johnny on the timekeeper here next to us, doing a great job.
Johnny on the spot, they call him.
We've also got the New South Wales Rugby League filming next to us with no commentary.
Yeah. As we go left, Riley Smith, short ball. Out to Hassett. It was actually Papali'i, and he looks like a likely customer, Papali'i. Big left foot step. Looks like he's got plenty of speed.
Right, they're going to take it in the middle.
He's come up with a few 4-pointers this year for the boys from the foot of the mountain. And we're going to replay that one. Referee wasn't happy with that. Referees in purple, Penrith in pink, Rabbitohs in red and green, mainly green there. Defending the southern end. Got the wind at their back. As they go left, Riley Smith off the left foot. Keeping it around the sticks here a lot, Mavo, aren't they? These Pinks, they're truly trying to burn us out through the middle and put some fatigue in this South Sydney Rabbitohs defensive line as goes out to Sagaga. The big man with a mullet. And he gets a nice little quick play of the ball out to Smith. Smith puts a little kick in and Wake's right there. All he needs is the bounce. He gets the bounce, goes straight up to his lap and puts it down. And look, that's just sustained pressure, Mavo. 5 back-to-back sets and the boys go in from the foot of the mountain.
Yeah, chaps, pressure. It told in the end, and I think it was a kick on a fairly early tackle. But, yeah, they found the space, and it was quite an easy try in the end. But our boys showed a bit of fight there to hold them out for that long. But
they've done well.
Reality is we're down 4-0 with 26 minutes left to go in this first half. And with a kick to come.
There's Lukey. Who is it now? We got Addison Williams is looking to take over the kicking duties. I don't think his percentage is a bit down. Old Lukey Philp. He was about 2 from 5 last week. So
yeah, Might have been a
Big
few
Addison Williams has taken over. Left footer.
Might have been a few hard ones from the sideline.
Yeah.
I think that was in the New South Wales Cup, chaps. I looked at that when we beat Penrith. They didn't kick a goal from 4 tries, and in the end it was Blake Taft's goals that were the difference.
Yeah, Taffy had a good game early. He set up a nice try down the left-hand side for Mr. Kari in the Tommy Carr in the left corner, but at the end of the day, it was a last-minute raid on the Panthers' left edge. It had big Cody Hodge diving over in the corner. He had a fair bit of work to do. The pass was high, reeled it in, and Hodgie went over in the corner. Good mates with Latrell Hodgie.
Yeah,
they're real 5'8", those two. Addison is taking his time with this one. And he bends it around right to left, straight between the posts. 6 points to 0. 25 minutes to go in the first half of Jersey Flegg. That's the under-21s competition. South Sydney Rabbitohs in the green and red stripes. Bit of white on their jerseys up against the pink men of the Panthers. Up in the foot of the mountains. And welcome to Bunnies TV, live and free. My name is Grant Chappell. Chaps is my nickname. And I got Steve Maven on the mic and on the camera. And it's
called a knock on there.
It was a tough kickoff to handle. Stayed low. I think he thought he was going to get a fortuitous bounce up in the lap. It didn't happen. He put his hand down, and the referee and the Ingold touch judges said, "Bring that one under the sticks, boys. We're out of a dropout."
Yeah, well, that was
just
what the doctor ordered for the Bunnies. I wonder if they're going to go for the short one here. They've been watching Nathan Cleary at the... No, they're not.
It's a big kick, 42 metres out. Carson Ko brings it up. Strong, powerful winger. Been with the club a few years, right through all our pathway systems, as Joey Nori gets it out to Louis Grosmy. Dummies to Archie Donnelly and takes the tackle himself. Romano Cook out in front to Caelan Bray. Caelan Bray hits someone off his right hip there. 10 metres out now. Cook to Bray. Bray back to Grosmy. Grosmy at the back to Nora. Nora hits Tweedy flat, or Big Thomas Fletcher flat, as Cook out of dummy half. He's crafty. Put a big face ball on. There was a couple of decoy runners. But Penrith didn't fall for that one as Cook gets it out in front of Bray. Bray quick ball on the outside to Munro. Munro throws an intercept. He turns and chases. He's pretty quick, Munro. He looks like he's going to round him up. As KO and Munro converge to... could be giving away a penalty here. He doesn't put him in the bin, but possible professional foul there, slowing him down. But it was on, wasn't it, Mavo?
It
Out
was.
of that right-hand side. He just couldn't get the ball to the right bloke, but
he
it was certainly on.
He cleaned up his own mistake, though, chaps. I think he caught him within 50 metres, so that just showed the pace of young Tyrone.
Yeah. He rounded him up. He had, good 7, 8, 9, 10 metres. Mate, they're looking good, the Rabbits, if they can get the ball in the right spaces.
Yep.
As they get us underway. The Australian schoolboy himself, Harrison Hassett. He was in the Australian schoolboys with our boy, Thomas Fletcher. His dad, Nicky Bird's online up there.
Yeah. G'day, Nicky.
Bulladoola. The nickname of that suburb is Pulashula. Bulladoola, as Darren Brown looks like he's about to join us. Riley Smith, second man play. Out the back to Papali'i. They go wide, but great defence over there on that right-hand side.
Oh, touchies.
Is that Hazen Mellors? Put him over the sideline.
And the touchy put his flag up there. I think that's one of the Pajita boys.
Good football.
That's
good football from both sides. It looked like a good spread, but
Brownie's joined us.
Hazen Mellors come across with a cover tackle then, Mavo.
Yes, mate. It was good footy there. But Brownie,
because Papali'i put him in space. It was a really good set play by the men in pink.
Yes, welcome to Darren Brown, former Panther, former Rabbitoh, so well placed to call this game. And I'll just push his mic up a little bit there. Sorry about the picture for a second. There you go. Welcome, Darren.
Yes, good afternoon, boys. Sorry I'm a little bit late. Got stuck in a little bit of traffic, and good afternoon to everybody out there who's jumped online, all the Bunnies TV supporters and families around the country, and all the Penrith Panthers supporters and family members that have jumped online.
You might be able to look at the live chat for us too, Brownie.
I'll certainly do that.
Welcome some of the people.
Kick out of dummy half, boys. Nice little kick by Ramone Cook looking for a 40-20. It's rolling.
Well done.
That's a 40-20 from Ramone Cook out of dummy half. He's got a lot of skill, this kid.
Yeah, it was a great kick and perfect timing as well, chaps. I just was watching the game in the car and they came up with some great defence early on, the Rabbitohs. Unfortunately, the Penrith Panthers scored a try off a little kick, but it was some great goal line defence there for a couple of sets in the early part of this game, and now they've got the opportunity to equal the scoring.
Yeah, as they get out to William Abu Aranje, who's tackled right under the sticks, 1-2 metres out. Romano Cook gets the ball out in front of Joey Nora. Second man play. Munro steps off the left foot. He might be a bit tentative. His last little raid on the other side, he threw an intercept, so took the tackle there as we go short. Tyrell Kayla gets the ball out to Carson Kao, and the referee likes it. He plants it down right in that left corner, and that was a good ball from dummy half from Tyrell Kayla.
That was, chaps. It was, down the short side, a little 5 metre blind. I thought he had the opportunity to maybe score the try, the tackle before, but Tyrone Munro opted to take the tackle, and then this little short side play.
Yeah, well, look, he jumped into dummy half and threw a face ball in front of Thomas Fletcher. And what about the strength of Carson Kao to hold? He was held up in the air and he's able to get the ball down. And
he had a little bit of work to do, didn't he? There was 3 players in front of him, and like you said, chaps, he showed a lot of strength to get the ball down. And
look, Mavo's a big fan of his.
I am. So that just shows the confidence that this team's got in Carson. So Terrell saw him out there and knew he had to get the ball on his chest, and he did the rest. He's powerful, he's elusive, and that is why he's in this gun backline for the Flegg.
There's a bit of rhyming there, Mavo. He got the ball on the chest and he did the rest. We might get a slogan out of it, a T-shirt slogan out of that, make a lot of money out of that one day. But yeah, ball on the chest and he did the rest. And just Joey Nora looks to line this one up, Brownie. Yeah, left footer.
A left footer, so it's not on his ideal side, being a left footer, but he strikes the ball well. He's kicked a couple of field goals throughout the season as well to win games.
Let's see how he strikes this one. Strikes it out from right to left. It's looking pretty good. He's got that one over from the sideline, 1 inch in from the chalk, Brownie. What a kick from the young fella, and looks like his relatives here, Adam Dewey. Yep. Recovering from an injury, and I think Adam would like that one.
He's quite a big 7'2", isn't he? He's not a little fella at all. He's quite rangy, so...
Well, he's got the Adam Dewey build, hasn't he? But I heard you talking about Adam Dewey before. Yeah, unfortunate. He is out again with a reconstruction, his third one.
Third one on the same knee.
On the same knee.
As Smitty gets us underway, Riley Smith with the headgear goes down to Carson Kao, and one of the toughest workers. I know you've got a big opinion of this bloke, Louis Grosmy, Brownie.
Yeah, he's a young kid, and I think he's still eligible. Well, he's around the 20 years of age, so he's got a couple of years ahead of him in this grade. And
look at that for a run.
He's a big body. And
the number 2, Carson Kao, the try scorer. He's got a bit of confidence up there, Mava.
Yeah, well, look, you just saw the power in the kid and the good offload. Here they go.
Archie Donnelly.
Through the middle.
As they start to work him over down the middle of the field with some small men, Donnelly, Cook. I think big Ty Munro was looking around to try and sniff around the middle of the field as Louis Grosmere stands in the tackle. They can't put him on the deck. It's tackle 5 as Cook looks left, goes right, out to Caelan Bray. It's a nice shallow kick as Hazen Mellors looks to go up and contest the catch, but it ended up falling behind him and could have been off Penrith. This could be
I think it might be, chaps. I think this might be a Rabbitohs feed.
Yeah, well, the touch he was pointing there.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. Off the back of points, that's a great set of 6, boys. They've rucked it all the way down there. Got a kick in. What's landed 5-6 metres out, and
that's what you want after points, chaps. You want your team to complete sets, and they've gone one better. They've got a repeat set here, and as Archie Donnelly comes from the field, he's had a great first in. I heard you talking about him before, and his old man. A shout out to his uncle, Flynn Donnelly, who I know will be up there on the Sunshine Coast watching this game. A shout out to you, Flinny.
I've had him around. He's a glazier. Put up a glass fence for me one day. On the
I'll
tell you what, did a great job up there. If you're up in the Sunshine Coast, give him a call.
I think his nan Norma is a fan
Flynn
of the show.
Flynn Donnelly.
Yes, great family, the Donnelly family.
As looks like the Bunnies are going to their bench, and Liam LeBlanc has replaced Archie Donnelly. And there was a bit of a loose pass there. The boys are looking to get a little bit of a flat part period of the game here. You need one of these boys to stand up and take over. As Romano Cook does a nice little grubber out of dummy half, but just a little bit too much pepper on that one.
Yeah, a little bit too much on it. Trickles over the dead ball line, and Penrith will bring it out to the 20-metre line and start with a restart.
7 tackle set now.
Looks like it's the goal kicker there. He's like a big boy. Addison Williams, the number 5 for Penrith. He's ripped out about 12 metres in that hit up, so a nice start to the set of 6 for Penrith on tackle 0.
And we've got a number of people on here live chatting. A special mention to all our channel members who are live chatting. Paul Cullen, we've got Rob Chalor there, Ned Kelly, and Marcia Malloy. A great conversation. She's got a great conversion. It says conversation, but I think she meant conversion. That was
well. They might be having a conversation in the chat.
They might be. They might be. Maybe.
I think he's down in country Victoria, Ned Kelly. So hope you got to put another log on the fire as Riley Smith coughs one up out the back.
And went back.
And it was the referee has ruled that one back, but bit of a stray pass there from the lock forward. I like the look of Billy Scott. He touches the ball a lot as Papaleki gets around the corner pass out on the left edge to Luke Philp, but he was sort of hanging back a little bit there, Philps.
Yeah, the ball was just out in front of him a little bit. It was the last tackle, so they just pushed the pass a little bit. They needed to come up with a special play, but unfortunately they couldn't do that, and the Rabbitohs get the opportunity to work it out off their 20.
At 6-all here, with 15 to go in the first half of this Jersey Flegg Round 8 clash at Redfern Oval. Live and free. Bunnies TV.
The hallowed turf, Mavo, of Redfern Oval.
That's a high tackle there on Carson Kaya, he's got a bit of power, this Carson Kaya. I think our wing stocks are looking good for the future. We've got some really classy kids in this team. Ty Munro, Carson Kao, Josiah Karapani, Terrell Kalo and Hazen Mellows all on show here today. Got the future of our club.
You can see why
right before your eyes, live and free here on Bunnies TV.
You can see why Kao can play fullback too, chaps. He's obviously they've got Tyrone back there now, but Carson plays good there. I saw him score a heap of tries at Mascot Oval about 2 or 3 months ago.
As we go to Tommy Fletcher, breaks the first tackle.
This is where Tyrone Munro's got to inject himself, boys. He's got to get his hands on the ball. I know he's out on the right edge and the ball's going out his way now, and there he is right there.
Beats the first man.
Tyrone
Steps
Munro.
off his right foot. Tyrone Munro.
Well, right on cue, Brownie. You've read it there.
As Cook goes left, gets it out to Louis. Louis stands in the tackle. They put him on the deck. And which way is Romano Cook going to go here? It's a really slow play of the ball from the Rabbitohs here. As Joey Nora takes a dummy, steps off his left, beats the first one. He's dragged to the ground. 5th tackle. The ball will go out to Caelan Brady, but they go flat out to Thomas Fletcher. Cook to Fletcher. The flat pass, and Thomas Fletcher too big, too strong, Brownie.
Yeah, last tackle, chaps. They decided to run the ball, and Thomas Fletcher, like you said, too big and too strong, that close to the line, and just barges over off a great pass from Romano Cook.
Yeah, it was a heads-up play. Look, they did a little bit of messing around in the lead-up to that one. I think Joey Nora stepped off the left. They were equal to the task. But you know what? Romano Cook looked at the numbers, and he was happy with the matchup. You got basically Thomas Fletcher between 2 defenders, and no one's stopping Tommy Fletcher, the Australian schoolboy, from there.
Geez, he throws a nice ball from dummy half, Romano Cook. He can throw a long ball. He just threw that nice little flat ball and sent Thomas Fletcher over to put the score 10 points to 6.
Well, firstly, we've got a couple of quality cooks at hooker in this club, in Damien and also Romano. But Thomas Fletcher, chaps, Dad Nick's watching. You would have saw him in the chat there, Nicky Bird. But Thomas is a gun young player. We've been following him. We've had a chat to him on the show, and he played in the Charity Shield. So that's how highly he's been valued in this club. So they've earmarked him as a star of the future. And running lines like that is why.
Yeah, and just why Nora's getting ready for this. We'll just update on the live chat. Kingpin info. Is it possible you could update the score when either side scores? Yes, we'll do that. We try to do that as much as we can. Kingpin. So the score is 10-6 with a kick to come.
We'll do it.
Hopefully Nora will kick this kick and take it to 12 points to 6. If it's anything like the last one, and it certainly is, it's straight between the posts.
We'll do one better. We'll go to the Darryl Lee scoreboard as Johnny just updates us next to us here. It's 12-6 with 11 minutes 50 left in this first half.
And shout out to Tim Jones, who's watching all the way from Canberra, boys. So shout out to you, Tim.
And South Sydney have thoroughly deserved their lead. They were under a lot of pressure early. There was a little kick in behind, and the Panthers scored, and they've come back with back-to-back tries. And they're going to rake it down here to Carson Kao. He gets it off to one of the hardest workers on the field that I've seen today is Louis Grosmy.
Off the back fence there, young Louis.
I think Ant Brownie wrote a great article about him. If you want to have a look at that on bunniestv.au, go back and have a look at that one. As Liam LeBlanc, the boy out of Brisbane, plays the ball pretty quick, and they get it out to William Orange. He had the hands free there.
Caught him high, but
thought he could have got an offload away if we were pushing up in support. Nora gets it out to Thomas Fletcher. The try scorer, he breaks one, beats two. Has the hands free as well. South Sydney looking to pull this team apart as he gets out in front of Cook. Cook plays that first receiver role. They do a little settler to Louis Grosmy on the right-hand side of the post. What are they setting up here? Joey Nora will want the ball, or Caelan Bray on the right-hand side. Nice little floater kick. Out to Mellors. Mellors goes up above them all. High points to catch, but just lost his feet, Brownie.
Well, it's the right side to kick to, isn't it? Hazer Mellors, the basketballer, he jumps high, he gets high above the pack and comes up with the ball, but unfortunately lost his feet on the way down and got caught with the ball, and it's a turnover, and the Penrith will work their way off the line. 12 points to 6 with 10 minutes to go.
There was some big charges in that set of
what
six.
What a set, chaps.
William Abu Orange and Thomas Fletcher. What a weapon he is. And we've seen both players that have scored tries today, Carson Kao, in the following set have had rampaging runs, including Carson Kao and Thomas Fletcher as Penrith are trying to hang on here.
That was the perfect set after points. We just said it before. Some great runs, bending the line and kick to the corner and pin the opposition down in their own 10.
I've got to give a tip of the hat to Tippy O'Connor himself. They're a well-coached team, and they're well drilled. So playing some entertaining football here, live and free on Bunnies TV's. Raking kick goes down, splits winger and fullback, and Hazen Mellors gets it on the first bounce.
Geez, that's unfortunate because they put in a great defensive effort then to keep them on the 40-yard line. They were going to get the ball back on their own 20, and unfortunately, it might have been, was it Liam LeBlanc who came up?
Bit of kick pressure. Look, we like kick pressure, but
charge down on the kicker.
There's obviously a fine line.
Missed that.
I'm just trying to get a little replay here on my phone. You won't be able to hear that out. I'll see that out online, but you can also skip back. And it was Riley Smith. Looks like a little bit of inside pressure from the hooker, Romano Cook, I think, boys. There wasn't a lot in it. I mean, I don't know how you're supposed to pull out. Anyway, I'm not going to change the rugby league rules here on Bunnies TV as Panthers go on the attack.
Well, you can't anyway.
No, we can't. As the hooker, the big number 13, Billy Scott turns another one underneath. Jeez, he loves turning them on underneath.
Great defence from Liam LeBlanc over the top.
As Connor Mason goes out of dummy half to pick the Rabbits' pockets, and it's a great tackle from the fullback, Ty Munro, and there's a bit of push and shove here.
And I think your man was in there too, chaps, Louis Grosmy. The bloke has made 1,000 tackles and 100 hit-ups already. He was involved in that tackle as well, so great try-saving tackle there from Louis Grosmy.
Well, just before that, Liam LeBlanc, what a shot he's put on. He's had a great run in the set before, a great run, and then a great tackle. He's only an SG Ball level player, but this kid, I've got him on screen now.
Look, it was back-to-back tackles by the fullback, and we've labelled him as the gazelle. Gazelles don't tackle like that, I'll tell you. Now, Ty Munro and Liam LeBlanc combined for the first shot, put the bloke on his backside, and then his work from marker got up and stopped Connor Mason. That was brilliant back-to-back efforts.
We go from the gazelle to the bear. The bear O'Brien on the sideline there.
Barry O'Brien, yeah. And then what does Ty Munro do? I want the first hit up of the set and gets us about 18 metres out from our own line as we look to go right again. That's Caelan Bray. Pushes the ball out to Josiah Karapani. The game plan is to get as much ball as possible to Josiah Karapani as he wins a penalty there. They're all over him. That was a good penalty by the referee. Speaking to the coach before the game, they're trying to get his hands on the ball. Josiah coming off a good game.
Yeah, well, he's a very exciting player, isn't he, chaps? He's got a lot of speed. He's got a lot of skill.
Great.
So they're the players that you want to get their balls on their hands on the ball, especially in this part of the field, especially when we're attacking now. And
speak of that man, he's driving, pumping the legs now.
And here, once again, Tyrone Munro's got to inject himself.
So we look to settle one here.
And a quick shout out to Mars Marta. Keep it up, Carson, cheering all the way from Auckland, New Zealand.
Oh, unreal.
Kia ora.
Family online. As we get it out there to Bray. Bray dummies underneath, goes 2 underneath, hits the flat man in Louis Grosmy. And the boys are trying to organise something. They want Thomas Fletcher flat. That was the last try. They go second man play. Little face ball under the sticks. They've been pretty good under the sticks there, the Panthers. They go the flat man again as Thomas Fletcher looks to spin out of a tackle, and great defence by the Penrith Panthers. The Mountain Men. It's tackle 5 now. What are they going to come up with here, the Rabbitohs? They get it at Joey Norrie, puts a left foot dribbler into the in goal. There's a loose ball, and that's a try to the South Sydney Rabbitohs.
I think Nora scored it.
That was a great little grubber by Joey Nora.
Well, he's pushed up. He's pushed up, chaps. He hasn't given up on the play. A little bit like Cody Walker, who never gives up on the play. And has come up with a try off a drop ball from the Penrith Panthers, which was probably nearly going to be a goal line dropout, I'd say. But we've come up with a try, and that takes us to 16 points to 6 with a kick to come.
So it was a big long ball. It was a long ball by the hooker, which I know you've been impressed with him. And the winger, Philp, come around, tapped the ball in the air, and Joey Nora, like you said, pushing up, chasing his own kick, has been Johnny on the spot. And there was look, you could say it's a lucky try, but it's not luck when there's 3 or 4 Rabbitohs around the ball. There's no reason why that was luck from the South Sydney Rabbitohs. We'll get a score update by Steve Maven behind the camera.
Okay, with thanks to Bunnaby Water with a purpose. It's 16-6 for the kick to come. There's only 5 to go, but geez, boys, they weathered the storm early. The Panthers went up 6-0, and they're going to put on 18 unanswered in reply, which is quite satisfying to our Bunnies TV audience, I can guarantee.
Yeah, it certainly is.
Certainly is on a overcast day down here at Redfern, boys. It's
cool.
A little bit of rain about, but it's not raining at the moment. But yeah, it's nice, cool, great weather for footy.
Perfect.
Not too hot out there. The boys will be not feeling the heat. Geez, I've been impressed with Thomas Fletcher since I've arrived. I got here a little bit late as Nora moves in and kicks a goal and takes the score to 18 points to 6 with 4 minutes to go. 4 minutes 30, I'd say.
There it is. Thanks to the juniors group of clubs and also Dot Bill Constructions.
Look, there's a lot of sport on today, and I'd like to thank you for joining us online. We've got the Live Golf Tour down there in Adelaide. We've got the WSL Margaret River Pro down there in Southwest region. The basketball playoffs on, but thanks for joining us here.
Some good waves I've seen there, chaps, down at Margaret
it started
River.
off a bit slow yesterday, but there's definitely some swell today.
What about they threw the cans on the... at the golf, they're throwing the cans on the grass.
Looks like a fun day out down there.
Absolutely.
It's Paul Fisher's
another
doing a bit
good
of
run.
DJing down there as Liam LeBlanc. Nice quick play of the ball again. Romano Cook right up behind him.
They can't hold this kid, LeBlanc.
And just a quick live chat update. John Meyer, shout out to Liam LeBlanc, watching from New York. So we're going all the way over to New York.
Start spreading the news.
Bunnies TV live and free.
The news. And we go right as Kalen Bray, short ball out to Josiah.
I wanna be a part. Sorry.
We'll get back to the action here. Kalen Bray puts up a lofty bomb, and he's up to the task there. Samuel Lane is supposed to be a good young talent from the foot of the mountains.
Yeah, boys. Coach Tibby O'Connell, like we just spoke about before, he'd be very happy with their completion rate, especially after points. That's 3 times we've scored a try and 3 times we've completed our set after points.
Yeah, well, they've just given up a little penalty there. Someone who's gone on report. That was Liam, I think, young Liam LeBlanc. But geez, he's playing well.
He's aggressive.
Look at him. He's a real weapon of a young forward, and big future ahead for him.
South have got him on a couple of year deal.
Yep.
His whole family's come down from Queensland. I think they're renting a joint there at Coogee. And he's got a big future as Penrith Panthers. They go to their bench, the number 14, Leighton Finau. He looks like a big lump of a lad, boys.
There he is.
Here's another one.
They've got some big players in their team. And this is an important set for the Rabbitohs, boys. It's probably going to be the last set that the Panthers have before half-time. So if they can hold them out here, we've got a good chance of going into the break 12 points up. Maybe even 16 or 18 if we can score on when we get the ball.
Mason on to Billy Scott, and he's been
tackle.
Completely dominated in the tackle there by the Rabbitohs. Number 12, Tommy Fletcher, looking to put his stamp on this game.
Well,
as they turn underneath, Harrison Hassett.
Good on both sides of the ball. Tommy, as you saw there. Attack and defence.
To Riley Smith, puts a little floating kick in, splits winger and fullback, casting KO looks to roll the sleeves up yet again, the powerful little winger. Try scorer today.
I don't know how little he is, chaps. He's a solid young man.
Oh, he's strong. Strong lad. There's a Hazen Mellows, another boy from Brisbane.
Good charge, yep.
Not a
Shout out to Mum and Dad, Vince and Charmaine.
Yep, we met the parents early in round 1 against the Auckland Warriors in the SG Ball. As Tyrell Kalakalo has a carry, and so does Ty Munro here. About 38 metres out from their own line. Romano Cook out of the left footer. Joey Nora going for a 40-20 there. But wasn't to be, as Samuel Lane, the fullback from the Panthers, brings it back, and he's met with some solid contact from Fletcher and KO, but they've given away a penalty. The men in purple didn't like that one.
Not long to go, 45 seconds, so they want to do something quick here. They've only got 1 or 2 plays. The boys will have to hold them out here to take this 12-point lead into half-time.
And it's been tries to Carson KO, Joey Nora and Thomas Fletcher from the Rabbitohs. Joey Nora 3 from 3, including 1 right out from the sideline. And it was a try to Riley Wake, number 12, from the Panthers. And the goal conversion was successful by Addison Williams, the number 5 for the Panthers, as Mason dummies Billy Scott underneath, and he goes for the big man.
Had his arm free then, the big
Leighton
fella.
Fee now, as they go out to the right. Billy Scott, second man play. Out the back to 5'8 there. Christian Lemeyer. I haven't called his name too much today. He might be looking to get involved there as Billy Scott goes out the back to Riley Smith, dribbles a nice one in the in goal, and the Gazelle sweeps across the field and puts that one dead, and that'll bring us to half-time.
Well done.
South Sydney Rabbitohs 18 lead the Penrith Panthers 6 here at Redfern Oval, live and free on Bunnies TV.
Well, a great half by the mighty South Sydney Rabbitohs after enduring some set after set pressure in the first 10 minutes. Unfortunately, they came up with a try to take the lead 6-0, but they've hit back with 18 unanswered points, Mabo, and they're looking quite strong, the South Sydney Rabbitohs.
Mate, couldn't be any more impressed by our boys, the way they hung in there and then hit back with a vengeance. Played some good footy, but yeah, their defensive effort was superb against a side. Look at the size of these boys. Jersey Flegg, that's 21 under 21s, and so the Mountain Men, they lived up to the name. They're a big side, but our boys, well done.
And there's Andrew Leeds on the coaching staff for the Penrith Panthers. Jumper, great player himself for the Western Suburbs Magpies, and I think he might have played with the Penrith Panthers as well. But what I was pleased about with that performance in the first half, maybe, was their completion rate, especially after points. Every time we scored a try, we scored 3 tries. We got to our kick and we pinned them down in their own half, and that's why we're going in to the break 18-6 in front, is because of our good ball control throughout that half.
All right, we're going to have a break here just in half time, and we'll see you back for the second half.
And just a couple of shout outs while we're at half time to Karina Haze, and she said good morning. She's watching all the way from Germany. So
yes.
New York, Germany, New Zealand, we're all around the world here. It is Bunnies TV, live and free. So if you've got somebody that is out there that can't make it to Redfern Oval today, make sure you share this link. They've got plenty of time. It's only half time, where the South Sydney Rabbitohs are leading 18-6 in this Jersey Flegg fixture.
Oh, hang on. So we got Mikey 100 here, Mega Rabbitoh here, enjoying the coverage and the performance from the mighty Bunnies over here in Japan.
Well, there you go.
So how good's that, Brandy? We're going New York, Japan, Germany and Canberra. It's like you can make a song about that. You know? When we tried to sing New York, New York.
Well, it is, and exciting, and it's a great opportunity for people who have got family playing in this game. They've got friends playing. They can just jump on to Bunnies TV YouTube and watch this game all the way around the world.
And hang on, we got Ron Hugenboom. He's watching from Quambone. Now, I don't even know where Quambone is, Brownie.
Where is Quambone? Let's Google that.
Yeah, let's Google it. Well, maybe, Ron, if you're listening, you can tell us, mate. But Quambone.
Well, Tom Fletcher watching Tom Fletcher. So he must be a mate of Tom Fletcher's. a shout out to you, Ron, if you're still listening and you're online.
And Mick Tasker's sitting right next to us and said, good game so far, boys. And he could have just turned around and said it to us, but thank you for chatting anyway, Mick.
Good on
and
you,
thank you
Mick.
for joining as a premium member too, mate.
Yeah.
We really appreciate that. That's huge that you can support us. So you can become a premium member or just a channel member, and you get exclusive content that no one else gets, and you get special merchandise deals and all sorts of benefits. But
and Mick's a passionate South Sydney Rabbitohs supporter, and hey, Mick, was it a great win the other night, wasn't it?
How good was it?
Yeah, I know we've got probably got plenty of Penrith Panthers supporters on here watching the live stream as we're playing their Jersey Flegg team. But credit to the Penrith Panthers, they put up a great performance, and that just shows you how good a team they are. We've got to play exceptionally well to beat what a quality team. They're the benchmark of the competition still for the last couple of years, and we had to play an 11 out of 10 performance to beat them, Ava.
And welcome to Darren Finlay, channel member. And he said, let's hope for a clean sweep. So we're looking all right for the clean sweep at the moment. Scott Singles said, great job, boys. Watching all the way from Hillsdale.
Hillsdale, it's not too far away.
Well, Hillsdale is, as a lot of you might know, and some of you might not know, is right across the road from the Heffron Centre. The Hillsdale Shopping Centre is right across the road from the Heffron Centre. And me and Brownie had a bit of a look at that. And, gee, isn't that a magnificent sight?
Well, it is. And for those of you that are watching and don't know, the South Sydney Rabbitohs have moved to the Redfern Centre during the week. Mm-hmm. They've moved their training facilities out of Redfern Oval, where we are here today, and now they've moved into their high-performance centre out there called the Redfern Centre. It's based in Maroubra. It's on the border of Hillsdale and Matraville. Yeah, mate, unbelievable, state-of-the-art.
Yep.
What a facility. The players are so happy to be there, and it proved it, didn't it? We're 1 from there.
We're undefeated in the Usana Rabbitohs Centre. Now, you know, Penrith fans will be listening to this, and I'm saying if you haven't got a centre of excellence like the Tigers, I'm not sure if the Panthers got one, Brownie.
Yeah, they have.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they have. I haven't been out there, but I'm not sure if it is to the quality of some of the others. But if there's some Penrith supporters online, if they can live chat and enlighten us how good their high performance centre is, let us know.
Now we've got TK listening all the way from Magnetic Island, beautiful part of the world there. Rona Rua Zorro is watching from East Blue. I think that must be over there in NZ. We've got Glenn Carpenter, channel member, on. He said he didn't know this was on, but he knows now. Kingpin Info has been sharing the link, so you can share the link for us. There's a share button. If you close the live chat, there's a share button. You just click copy and you paste it to your social network, your Facebook, your Twitter, wherever you like. You can text it to your friends and say, the boys are on, it's a great game, the Bunnies are winning.
Well, you're right, Mavo. It is a great game, and as you can see the scoreboard there, it's 18 points to 6 at half-time in favour of the South Sydney Rabbitohs. The Penrith side got off to a fast start. They were pressuring our line. They led 6 points to 0, and we've scored 18 unanswered points at the back end of the half, and we go into the break in front after some great attacking football by the South Sydney Rabbitohs.
Now there's Normie Lipson sitting next to Adam Dewey. Two Rabbitohs. Well, one's a mad Rabbitoh. Normie is a good friend of George Piggins. And the other one is Adam Dewey there, who unfortunately we mentioned before. He's related to Joey Nora. And unfortunately he's going to be out long term. And the Tigers couldn't afford to lose him, could they? But they have.
Well, it's unfortunate for both Adam himself and the Tigers. Yeah, like you said, Mavo, they're in a bit of a struggle street at the moment, but hopefully they can get a win over the Anzac round. I know we played on Thursday night and got the win. Now we've got the opportunity to death ride every team that we don't want to win. And
how good is it?
There's a team coming up on Tuesday that will be death riding.
Yes.
On Anzac Day. It's usually a big clash.
Well, against
the St George Dragons out there at Allianz Stadium.
I just spoke to me mate Con Paris, because I've been flying a bit of drone footage over the surf, and he's been looking at it for me, giving his critique, and I just said, go Dragons. That's going to be a big clash. And also I was speaking to Sean Garlick, and his son is going to be playing in the Melbourne versus Warriors annual clash, the nighttime clash. And
as Tibby O'Connell, the coach, makes his way out, now I'm sure he would have had some good words to say to his players at half-time. They put in a great performance, but Rugby league, it's a game of two halves. You've got to put two halves together, and I'm sure if we go out and complete sets like we did in that last half, we're going to go a long way to winning this game.
Yes, we are. So, well, we weren't going to do anything in the half time. We've nearly spoken all the way through it, but yeah, we just needed a little bit of a break I had a little bit of break on the camera. I'll just put it back on there, and we'll keep having a chat. But yeah, Brownie, Chaps was just asking me before the game. I was here yesterday for the John Sattler Memorial. It was a nice service the club put on. Scott Sattler was here. I spoke to him, and the family were here. There was George Piggins, Ron Cute, Bob McCarthy. We had Ray Martin doing the emceeing. We had former players like Craig Coleman, David Boyle, Bob McMillan, Wayne Stevens, Darren McCarthy. Sevenheads, our mate, was here.
Yeah.
He scrubbed up all right too. A son of Bobby. He had the bag of fruit on, and he's not a bad style of a bloke, the old Darren.
Yeah, it was a great
McCarthy.
Celebration of the life of John Sattler. Obviously, they got to spread the ashes on this hallowed turf here of Redfern Oval, where he went into battle many, many times and was successful. What a player he was. What a gentleman he was off the field as well. They reckon he was as tough as nails on the field.
Yep.
And obviously, you know, that famous game where he broke his jaw and went on to win the grand final and lead his team to victory.
Well, they spoke about that, Brownie. They said Bob and they were good mates with him, Bob and all that, and they said he's the most loveliest gentleman off the field. He'd get in the dressing room and something that just change, he'd just switch on.
Yeah.
And then he said after the game, he'd get changed, and it was like he was going off from Jekyll and Hyde. He'd be back to talking to the ladies about, what sort of knitting they're doing and all that sort of stuff. So.
Well, they reckon he was one of the first players to ever wear a suit to a game.
Yep.
He was always well dressed, well-mannered young man, and a very, very well-liked rugby league player, especially in the South Sydney community.
Yep.
We loved him here at Redfern Oval. All the supporters loved him. He was just a legend of this club, and he is now laid to rest on this hallowed turf.
And I wrote an article for bunniestv.au about yesterday, and I did say that Scott talked about how his dad always talked to him about being nice to everyone. How you got to be able to talk to the butcher and also the barrister. Treat everyone the same, and Scott Sattler is just like his dad, a champion.
And we're underway as the big man off the bench, Leighton Finau, takes a carry. Giant human there, the 14 for the Panthers. Same first name as one of my favourite tennis players, Leighton Hewitt.
Yeah,
a real Aussie fighter.
Tony Finau, the golfer.
He won Wimbledon, he won a US Open.
Yep.
And that doesn't happen very often for an Australian male player, as the big number 16 put on a nice hit up. Tua.
We've just got an injured player in the background here by the Panthers. The Rabbitohs player is injured. The Panthers player, well done to the Panthers player. He stayed with him. He seen there was a little bit of concern for the injured player. Can't actually see who it is at the moment.
Well, he hasn't gone down.
Is it Nora?
Great sportsmanship. Great sportsmanship for the Rabbitohs. It could be, no, it's not Joey. It's
credit to the Penrith Panthers player.
Is it Cruz Tweedy? Is it Cruzy?
I missed what happened there.
Our man number 11.
Has he copped a head knock or something? Or that's probably why the players stayed with him. He's going to come
watch
off.
the replay now. We've got the ability to watch the replay here as the Penrith Panthers players work it off their line.
He's a leg injury by the looks of it, I think. Or not, no, he's just getting him to lift his leg, so I think it might be a HIA.
Yeah, he just got his head. He's
all right.
He's playing on.
Fast.
Shaking it off.
Shaking it off. Shaking it off,
it's the number 13, James Kokinos.
Oh, yeah.
Kokinos.
Tough.
Geez, he's a battler, old Jamesy. He will not come off.
No.
As South Sydney look to get 3 men in the tackle. It's tackle 5 now. Back to Riley Smith. Referee's looking at that. Is he cleared the contact on the kicker as Hayes Mellors? What an athlete this kid is.
The beauty about that, there was a little bit of contact on the kicker by Louis Grozemy after the ball went, but he didn't go on with the tackle, chaps.
No,
he wasn't aggressive with it. He tried to ease out of it, and it just eased him back down. Well done to Louis Grozemy. Great football smart.
You know what he did? He placed him on the ground like I placed me golf ball before I'm about to flog it as Ty Munro brings it up about 48 metres out from his own line. Romano Cook demanding the ball at dummy half. He shapes left. He goes right out to Carson KO, the try scorer today, and he's about 39 metres out from the Panthers line. We go to Cook. Cook out to Liam LeBlanc. Powerful run by Liam LeBlanc. Placed on report a little bit earlier. We go back to Romano Cook again. It's out to Joey Nora. We've got left foot number 7s up against each other today. And it's out, that's spilled out the back. It's picked up by Hazen Mellors. He flicks it back on the inside. And just driven over the sideline. Geez, they're struggling under...
Is that a knock-on? Is that a knock-on no advantage or...?
Under the kicking game of Joey Nora.
Turnover.
Had a bit of height on it. They couldn't come up with the ball.
Geez, unfortunately, we didn't keep the ball in play then because we had 6 tackles to try and put some more points on. And just a quick shout out to TK, and he said, my grandfather Chicka Cowie used to speak about how hard Sattler was as a player, but a true gentleman off the field. And that's what we're just talking about, Mavo. And Chicka Cowie was a legend himself.
Some strong defence here by the Rabbitohs.
One of the greats, one of the all-time greats, Les Chicka Cowie.
Some real heavy contact. James Kokinos just pumping the legs, but they've been a bit too eager. He's given them an offside penalty. Caelan Bray took offence to it. He didn't like what Luke Philp did to him, so Riley Smith looking to get the Panthers underway. Puts one up. And nice catch there by Jackson Rami down there on the rebound. Coming down to support his team after playing for the New South Wales Cup on Thursday night, and they come up with a nice win.
In the 79th minute, chaps.
Last minute win. It was
Dean Hawkins 40-20 was instrumental.
Great win as Tui looks to get an offload away, and Billy Scott, Riley Smith. He just dropped the knees into him. He's going to have a look at this one.
If he wants our replay.
He's going to have a look.
Liam LeBlanc's got his hands in the air. Touch judge, did you see that?
Yeah, well, there were some knees that we don't like to... but we're only calling what we see here. There was some knees, and the touch judge has seen that.
I think that's young Mitchell Petrida there. Mum might be watching, Mum or Dad.
Yeah, he's got down low, and the crowd are getting a bit agitated here.
Might see some sin binning action or maybe even a send-off here.
It happened off camera.
Cashy's not happy about it. He's standing here. You probably hear him in the background.
You can hear all the crowd.
I think this bloke's going to be in the bin for 10 here.
They've seen what happened.
He's going to get his marching orders.
He's in the bin.
Yeah, professional foul. Yeah, a bit of a brain explosion. He's had a good game, the big fella.
Yeah, he's not tall.
He didn't have to do that. His carries, South Sydney have struggled to handle that. As I got a little leak off the grandstand down my back, but it's off camera, so we won't worry about it.
And just while we get play back underway, Blake Swan, Fletcher looks like a future Blues player. Well, he's certainly looking good in this game, and he's got a long way to go to represent the New South Wales Blues. He's in the New South Wales Blues emerging squad, isn't he?
Well, he's certainly a future Cardinal and Myrtle player, that's for sure.
Definitely.
And, as they turn Liam LeBlanc underneath, we go the open side to Louis Grosmere. Froze a dummy, they fell for it, but defence came again and rounded him up. They're only 12 metres out. We've got Liam LeBlanc flat off Cook. He's at the left-hand side of the post. They're going to start to organise things.
Get the ball to Munro down the left.
As he begs for the ball out the back. Joey Nora, long ball to Josiah Karapani. Bit of footwork, early ball to Hazen Mellors. He brings it back on the inside, but Lukey Philp rounds him up, tackle 5. It's going to go out to Caelan Bray this time. Caelan Bray picks it up off his shoelaces. It's a funny-looking kick, but it's too deep. And Addison Williams has picked it up.
Yeah, come off the side of his boot there, chaps. There, but once again, Tyron Munro, didn't really get to touch the ball in that set of 6, in the attacking set, and it's something that the Rabbitohs need to get him involved in.
Especially now that they're down to 12 men for the next 7 or 8 minutes. He's the man that needs the ball in his hands.
Another great tackle there by Liam LeBlanc, but penalty given away by Cook. It's Cook on the big number 4, Cody Lawson, who looks a handful, the big right centre for the Panthers, the foot of the mountains. I just went back and looked at some of the things that Hazen Mellors done under the high ball. Every time I see this kid, he impresses me. This is a bloke who, the more football he plays, he's only going to get better and better. Very acrobatic under the high ball.
Well,
And, with all those great kickers in the game, he'd be very handy in first grade the next couple of years.
Well, he's got the basketball genes
Yep.
in his blood.
Represented Queensland under-18s last year in basketball as Mason goes out a dummy up, and he's picked up and driven into the ground by James Kokinos. Who else? One of the toughest young players in the whole Jersey Flegg competition. Number 14 hit him off the ball as Papali'i goes a 2-on-1 out to Lukey Philp, but there could be another bloke in the bin here as South Sydney Dre Mercy hit, I think it might have been Riley Smith off the ball. So it's going to be interesting to see what the referee does here.
Well, if they didn't score the try, chaps, they would have brought it back for a certain penalty. So it's just a matter of whether the touch judge runs straight on. So if the far linesman has seen the incident, and we're just going to be watching the replay here.
Oh, there it is there, yeah. So it was our man, Trey Mercy, who won the grand final with the Maddo Tigers last year, just hit Riley Smith off the ball. It was pretty late, but it wasn't that high. So that might play into his factor. It certainly wasn't around the head region, but it was around the shoulder region. He hit him off the ball.
Yeah,
coming out now.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's going to do. He's calling him out. There it is there. Just hit him late, off the ball. Like I said, it wasn't foul play. It wasn't around the neck region. But now, is he looking to square up the men in purple here? Sometimes they do that. He's put him in the bin. There's the square up. Trey Mercy, the brother-in-law of Latrell Mitchell, he's been sent to the bin. And I was speaking to Coach Tippy O'Connor before the game about him, and he said he's got himself in some pretty good physical condition. You've seen him get up and nice and aggressive around the ball, but there's a fine line there, and he's just crossed that line. Poor old Dre Mercy, and he's going to go into the sin bin. What's he going to do in the sin bin there, Brandon? Are they going to put the Live Golf on, or is he going to jump on the Bunnies TV Live, or is he going to have a look at the WSL comp down there at Margaret River?
Basically, what they'll do is they want to go in there and keep warm, so they'll probably jump on a bike, just keep the legs spinning down there, and obviously there'll be somebody in there.
Is there a velodrome under the?
No, there's no velodrome.
Just a stationary bike.
It'll be about the second race at Randwick, chaps. He might have put a couple of bets on or something. Who knows?
Anyway, it's been tries to the Panthers today to Harrison Hassett and Luke Philp there. Scored that last one, and Addison Williams looks to move in. He strikes it. It just waved away to the left-hand side, had too much bend on it, and he's now 1 from 2 in the goal-kicking department.
He's not used to the Redfern breeze here.
Well, on the Blast Pit scoreboard, South Sydney Rabbitohs 18, Penrith Panthers 10, with 27 minutes 30 to go in this second half here at Redfern Oval, live and free on Bunnies TV. This is the round 8 clash of the Jersey Flegg Cup.
And we've got 2 people in the sim bin. It's 12 on 12 at the moment. Number 14 for the Panthers, that's Leighton Finau is in the bin, and also Dre Mercy. Still got a few more minutes to go.
If you speak, you mentioned Blast Pit before, boys. I was there yesterday, so if anyone out there around the Little Bay, Maroubra area, if you need a massage, make sure you hit up Blast Pit. He's got the sauna there. He's got the ice bath. You hang upside down. So if you're a little bit sore, a little bit stressed out, you're sore from training, footy, make sure you give Nick a call at Blast Pit and get a session there. You will not be disappointed as Penrith go on the attack again, chaps.
As Mason beats 1 or 2 and gets it right out wide there to the big strapping centre, Cody Lawson. They're going to work it back to the middle of the field here through the 5'8 Christian Mimai. And they're only 42 metres out from the Rabbitohs line as Riley Smith splits winger and fullback again. They've had a good kicking game.
They've came out of different sides, the Penrith Panthers. They've come out of the blocks in the second half.
Carson Ko beats the first one and gets it a couple of metres out. And South Sydney walking back into position as they try and get some of their outside backs to roll the sleeves up. And there's Josiah Karapani, the powerful centre.
And just going back to the live chat, Pop said, what's the score? The score is 18 points to 10 in favour of the South Sydney Rabbitohs with 26 minutes to go in the second half.
That was Munro, chaps. That had a little charge from dummy half. But, yeah, anyway. There we go. What?
As we've conceded a penalty. While in possession of the ball. It's a bit of a coach killer, that one.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there. He didn't play it properly, maybe. Is he turning the wrong way
we're
or
just
rolled it under?
watching the replay now.
Yeah, anyway.
So they've scored with 12 men, the
I'm
Panthers.
just watching the replay now.
Now they're on the attack.
It was a really good hit
There's
up.
nothing wrong with that. He attempted to put his foot on the ball.
Right on there. That was a tough call because it was a great charge by Hazen Mellors. He stood up, put the ball on the ground and played. Oh, he didn't actually touch it with his feet.
Yeah.
I mean, that's probably happened 15 times today.
Tough.
But anyway, back to the action. Penrith Panthers, the only team to score so far this half as Mason gets it out to Mimai, and Mimai gets it out to Lawson, beats the first South Sydney defender, and they wrestle him down 2 metres out from the South Sydney try line. Long ball out in front as we go to Billy Scott, dummies. Gets his hands on the ball a lot, Billy Scott. The lock forward, very much like the first grade lock, Isaiah Yeo. As we go down to Mason. Mason out in front to Riley Smith, dummies. One under. Goes it back to Lane.
Tackle.
Lane's rounded up there by Josiah Karapani, and a nice one-on-one tackle, and he goes again up against Philp. Good little match up there, and they're a little bit short on, gone the wrong way, I think, the Panthers, as they grub a one in behind. And he's seen a knock on there.
Little knock on.
Geez, they're starting to get all the 50-50 calls here, the Panthers.
Great goal line defence there from the South Sydney Rabbitohs, as it was in the first half. Hazen Mellors did exceptionally well there, chaps. He went to come in on the Penrith Panthers and shut down their attack. And then he sort of changed his mind and then drifted out into a slide defence. And that's some great bit of footy brains there from Hazen Mellors. He forced them in.
Yeah.
He came in and then went out again and just forced the ball runner to take the line on.
It was a good one-on-one tackle by
Karapani.
Josiah Karapani. I think that'll give him a bit of confidence there. Like the Lane bend the corner, and he's pretty fleet-footed, Lane, and he skipped on the outside. But
I don't know if we could see a knock on there.
I couldn't see a knock on in the replay. There's another tough call against the mighty Rabbitohs, and the referee doing his best out there. Referees, that's a tough job, and I wouldn't want to do it. But down here at Redfern Oval, mate, we look for all the 50-50 calls to go one way. That's the red and green way here live on Bunnies TVs. They work the right. Out of marker, Mason. He was rounded up from Joey Nora, and we get the ball back here, and they're looking to complete a set here. The South Sydney Rabbitohs. As Carson Ko rucks it out from his own end.
Still 12 on 12 here.
About 18 metres out.
You're watching this on our George's camera. George Street City.
And we've got plenty of people there live chatting. We'll do our best to get to all the live chatting, but if you want your chat to stand out, there are options where you can super chat with us.
Super stickers and super chat.
Stickers, that's right. If a little donation goes a long way to help Bunnies TV, live and free.
We're also
Munro looks to get involved here, boys. Back to the action as Abu Orangi made a big run through the middle and got a quick play of the ball, and South Sydney Rabbitohs they got a 6 again call. It's out in front. It's Caelan Bray. Goes off his right foot.
Great charge there from Munro. It was well needed, that run, to get us out of trouble.
As Cork back to Abu Orangi. He looks a handful, this bloke.
good run.
He's a really good footballer.
Thomas
Abu
Burgess.
Orangi.
Thomas Burgess stole that.
Had his arm free too, didn't
He's
he?
a former Cronulla Shark. Tippy O'Connell coached him a few years ago. Brought him over to the South Sydney Rabbitohs, and we're thankful for that. As we look to put some points on in this second half for the first time, as Archie Donnelly dummies inside.
Show and go.
The little man with the helmet, number 17.
Yeah,
Not the helmet, the headgear, and he gets it out in front. Caelan Bray takes the ball up high. Josiah Karapani didn't have the numbers there, but he looks to use his own power and strength to burrow over the line. Tackle 5.
And Dane's just asked, what's the score? It's 18 points to 10. Dane.
As we go wide to Joey Nora, got the ball in hand, little dribble in behind, but it just dropped back there. The little 5'8", Christian Lemai.
Yep, 18 points to 10, Dane, in favour of the South Sydney Rabbitohs.
Big defence there from the Rabbitohs. 2-3 in the tackle. Donnelly and Romano Cook. Actually, that was Tyrell Kalo.
As the rain starts to tumble down here at Redfern Oval, the brollies go up.
Tough to see the numbers here as it gets darker and darker here at Redfern Oval. About 20 degrees, 20 knot southerly. It goes out to the big number 12. Try scorer in the first half. Riley Wake. Slow play of the ball. Riley Smith, the left footer, gets himself into position. Again finds the grass. He's been good today with the kicking game. And Hazen Mellors
little bit like Jamie Soward, isn't he, chaps? Number 7 for the Penrith Panthers.
Well, he's a hooker converted into the halfback position, which you don't see very often.
Left-footed kicker, same little build.
Chased his own kick there.
Yeah.
And we are brought to you by NG Farah, the best real estate in the East since 1962.
Yeah, busy day for the real estate agents today, chaps. Saturday being auction days.
Caho.
Okay, so we've had hit-ups from Ty Munro and Carson Kao and Josiah Karapani.
Another good
they're all the running here. The Rabbitohs are starting to get back on top as Cook dummies out of dummy out, beats one, throws out in front of Caelan Bray. He's got one to beat, steps off his right foot, brings it around onto the post for a South Sydney try. South Sydney 22, Penrith Panthers 10, kick to come. Beautiful run out of dummy half there by, look, he's a talented hooker, Romano Cook. He threw a dummy inside out, found himself in the backfield and ended up with a 2-on-1. And Caelan Bray, good 5'8", pushing up in support like Cody Walker would do.
Yeah, I'm just watching the replay here, chaps. We worked all the way off our line, and pretty much our back five all had hit-ups there. Ty Munro, Josiah Karapani was outstanding in that set. KO was unbelievable, and then obviously Romano Cook took off from dummy half and put a nice ball on to Caelan Bray, who scooted away and scored under the post. And a big shout out to Michelle and Nola, so they just donated $80, $79.99.
Oh, thank you for
that. For a super chat, and a shout out to you guys, the big supporters of the show.
So that's Michelle and Nola Cheney, I imagine. And,
yep, it certainly is.
And we got a lovely message from Michelle this morning because Nola was here yesterday to watch the service, but Michelle couldn't get here to watch it. And so we filmed the whole service, 70 minutes from start to finish. That's up on our channel if you want to watch the John Sattler Memorial Service. And Michelle thanked us because she couldn't get here, and she's just watched the whole service, and thank you for that. We love you, Nola and Michelle, and Paulie too. He's one of me mates, Bopper.
Yeah, well, if you like that, email the club. There's Neon Dion. It's in the house.
Neon.
5'8", and from the winning New South Wales Cup team on Thursday night. And he had a good game too, Neon Dion.
Yeah, and that conversion takes the score to 24 points to 10 in favour of the South Sydney Rabbitohs, and a try well needed, Mava.
Yeah, it's 18 minutes 30 to go in this second half of this round 8 Jersey Flegg clash, and the boys are in control now. That was a great try to extend their lead. And
look, he's been 4 from 4 from the boot to Joey Noran. Geez, that makes a difference. There's a couple of our boys bang into each other, Carson Kao and Liam LeBlanc, and they bring it out about 17, 18 metres out. As the clouds get a bit lower here, we might get a little bit of rain shortly. Thomas Fletcher, the big fella, brings it up. The Australian schoolboy has had a big game, also a try scorer in this first half. As they get it out to William Abu Aranje, he's been hard to handle. He has 10, 12 metres in a hit up there as Caelan Bray brings Josiah Karapani underneath, and he's met there by 3 Mountain Men in pink right on the halfway line. Tackle 4 as we get it out to Abu Aranje. Jeez, he rolls the sleeves up, Aranje.
Gee, it's been a good yardage set, chats, to get to the opposition 40, and then a great kick there from Nora. Pinpoint accuracy.
He didn't know where he was, Lane. He could have stuck the foot out there and got a 7-tackle set. But
and a great chase there by the little bulldog Archie Donnelly.
Archie Donnelly, his old man, we've spoke about him a few times, Maroubra legend himself, Bull Donnelly, former Coogee Wombat, tough as nails.
He's played many a games here at Redfern Oval. And let me tell you, Bull Donnelly, he would have came off with the dirtiest jumper in the whole team.
Look at that for a tackle.
There's just 3, 4, 5 in the tackle, driving them back. This is great defence by the South Sydney Rabbitohs. And they're a well-coached team, this South Sydney team, with LeBlanc, Fletcher combined to put them on the deck. And a little bit of foot speed here as they try and spark something up here. It's the starting front rower, Sagaga, who I thought was good in the opening exchanges, and they get it out to Lemai, the 5'8", and again they split winger and fullback. The kicking game's been good from the Panthers today as Carson Kao brings it back to the midfield, and he's met by a couple of Panthers there, about 25 metres out from his line.
Starting to win field position, chaps, South Sydney Rabbitohs.
Here they are, and I like what I've seen from Ty Munro. Nice. He really rolls the sleeves up, tackle 1-2 coming out of yardage. A bit like a...
Oh, great set.
Oh, another nice carry by Hazen Mellors, the young product out of Queensland. As Cook goes right out to Abu Aranje, and he keeps pumping the legs.
That's 3 good runs
I
in a
tell
row.
you what, they'll be sick of the side of this bloke by the time this game's over. He keeps carting it up the guts, and Caelan Bray gets it out. And Trey Mercy's back on the field.
Make it
They're
4.
back on 13 on 13. The number 14 is a great young footballer. As they go the short side, it goes Ty Munro, offload to Mellors. Mellors passes it back to Karapani. He goes back to Trey Mercy, looks in front of him, no one there, puts it on the toe, and Samuel Lane rounds it up. And he gets an offload away as well. This is hot potato stuff, Brownie.
Geez, he did well, Mercy then. Obviously got the ball when he wasn't expected it. Seen a hole, went for the hole, and then put a nice little right foot kick in, and then came up with the tackle.
Yeah,
Good
he
shot
chased
there.
his own kick, and one of the smallest blokes in the field put a massive shot on there.
Didn't he? What?
Archie Donnelly. He's got the heart of far lap, Archie.
Well, I think he's trying to make up for his little error that he spent 10 minutes in the sin bin and he let the team down. But
Yeah, that's Trey Mercy.
He backed himself, buddy. He had a bit of a
he
crack.
did.
They're real dominant in the tackles here, South Sydney. The line speed's good, their aggression. They seem to be able to meet them in contact and drive them back as Trey Mercy meets up with one of the real big boppers from the mountain. That looks like it might be Jai Weinberg. He was a late inclusion. Weinbergen. Apologies for the first time I've seen that name. And he's an absolute unit. He reminds me of what was it, Blake, the former Warrior, the big fella, Parramatta. His name escapes me now, but anyway, we'll get it out there to Josiah Karapani. Big left foot step, comes back up the right-hand side of the field. And he looks...
very elusive, isn't he, chaps? Josiah Karapani.
Yeah.
Got plenty of speed, well balanced.
reminds me of Michael Jennings, the former Panther, the former Rooster. He was
Spot on
he had
there.
that nice first step, a big leg drive on him, and any loose balls, he used to take it to the house every time as Cook gets it out the back.
Kicked early
to
there.
Joey Nora, and he kicks in behind.
It's a nice kick, you get the
Phillips.
bounce.
Oh, did Phillips step on the line then? I'll go with the touch judge here instead of Bunnies TV call as the boys chase that kick up and pin them inside their own 20. Nearly another 40-20. We had a 40-20 for Romano Cook out of dummy half in the first half if you're only just joining us. And welcome to all you viewers online all around the world. We had a couple from New York, over the ditch in New Zealand.
Japan,
Yeah.
Germany.
Japan, Bulladila, and
Hillsdale.
there's a
Scott Singles from Hillsdale, chaps.
Scotch tape singles from Hillsdale. Yeah, well done, Scotty. And they start to ruck it up. And I like the look of Sagaga, the man with the mullet. He's only a small forward, but gets through plenty of work. I think they had him off a little bit too long. They had him off for a big spell in the middle part of the game as the South Sydney Rabbitohs round up a loose pass, which was picked up out the back by Cody Lawson. Long ball out to Riley Smith. They're kicking off the back foot a lot in this last 15 minutes, Brownie.
Well, it was credit to the Rabbitohs defence end. They were pushing up. The ball went to ground for the Panthers behind. And as Hazen Mellors gets an offload out to Tyron Munro, who's got plenty of speed down the right-hand side. Puts a kick in.
Take that. Oh, there was an exciting passage of play there, and Ty Munro went for the all-or-nothing play, and it's come up, and now the Panthers are on the attack. There's a huge tackle. He covered by Dre Mercy, comes across and flogs Samuel Lane, and he's on his haunches
Kakashi.
as it goes out the back to Sunita, number 10, who's back on the field, and that was a massive shot by Dre Mercy coming across in cover.
Yeah, it happened right in front of us, chaps, and it was a great shot by Mercy. He got good contact on him. He's hurt him. The Penrith Panthers still getting attended to by the trainer, and they're playing. And as the Panthers come up with an error, and big credit to the Rabbitohs defence there. They're right on top here in this game where they lead 24 points to 10.
Archie Donnelly didn't like looking at Archie Donnelly. He's sick of him hitting him around the rib cage, and he thought to himself, you know what, I'd rather cough it up than get flogged by little Archie Donnelly here today. And South Sydney 24 points to 10 over the Mountain Men in pink, Penrith, and this looks like it's going to be a whitewash to the Rabbitohs this weekend. First grade New South Wales
chaps,
Cup.
Please.
New South Wales. No, I'm going off early, mate.
And apologies there, Cashy's next to me. He got a bit excited, kicked the camera, but he enjoyed that little piece of play there, as you all would have. And you saw that live and free on Bunnies TV.
Yeah, we beat them in New South Wales Cup first grade, all in the last minute. And
stand on the other
sets up. We've got a nice 14-point lead. And we work it inside their half. Gets it out to Liam LeBlanc off his right foot. Keeps driving the legs. He's been good today, one of our best. Louis Grosmy was good early as he gets it out to Bray. Bray turns Mercy underneath. He's had good impact off the bench, Brown.
He has, mate. He's been outstanding. He's come up with a couple of good plays, got his hands on the ball as Louis Grosmy just returns to the field.
A little bobble at dummy half, but he was good enough to pick it up as Joey Nora just succumbs to the tackle. I think the lead runner, Archie Donnelly, just got things out of whack then as Archie Donnelly plays the second man out the back of a lead run by Fletcher. He's rounded up pretty easily there. We get it out in front. Joey Nora with a little left foot kick. It's a dangerous kick under the sticks and picked up there by the Panthers. Big man right under the post, Brownie.
Yeah, it certainly was, and credit to the Panthers, their goal line defence, and they had to be, because if we score there, that's a game over as they make a break down the field, and Chaps has gone off early, and I told you not to go off early.
As Ty Munro rounds him up.
Oh, what a chase.
That's a great chase by Ty Munro on Papali'i, the left centre. As South have got to get back on side at 6 again. He's given them a ruck infringement as they go too wide to jumper number 19. Fletcher Haycock is on the field for the first time and goes out to Cody Lawson, the big, strong, strapping right centre. South need to D up here as they did in that first part of the first half. As they go right foot step, and that's too much possession for the Penrith Panthers, and they go coast to coast all the way up the field, and they've scored a try to put them back within reach, about 10 points behind here.
Well, you've gone off early, Chaps, at 24 points to 10 with 10 minutes to go, and the Panthers have gone 100 metres and scored, which takes the score to 24 points to 14 with a kick to come with 9.5 minutes remaining.
Well, first of all, what about the chase from Tyrone Munro? He's running under 11 seconds for 100 metres. This kid. He's quick as anything, and big future for him, because that bloke looked away for all money and was going to score. But then they got the ball and spread it to the right. We were still at 6s and 7s, and they've got themselves back in the game here. So we might be seeing a grandstand finish here, boys.
It was a try to Riley Wake, who scored off a grubber kick from Riley Smith in the first half. The two Rileys combined. They combined again there, and he scored a double here today. And they're only 1 from 2 with the boot from Addison Williams, the big number 5. He moves in, he strikes it. It's waved away again. It's still a 10-point advantage. Rabbitohs 24, Penrith 14.
And Dre Mercy gets his another spell as he comes from the field. A well-earned spell this time. His last spell was 10 minutes in the sin bin, but this spell he's really earned it, because he come up with some good plays.
Well, Trey Mercy has got the shot of the day, the Darryl Lee shot of the day, because there's something special in every bite, and there was something special in that tackle.
Well, there's something special in every shot, really, isn't there? And as he come across the field, he tried to put Samuel Lane into row 6 here at Redfern Oval on the western end, but he was unsuccessful there. But he's recovered pretty well, Samuel Lane. They're tough, the mountain men.
Oh, yeah.
There's no doubt about that. It's a low ball. He's knocked it on. Riley Smith, who's been very, very good today. It was a very tough kick for Paul Riley.
Yeah, well, look, you go from, what's that saying,
Go from the penthouse to the shithouse. And that's what he's done here today.
I was going to say that. I didn't know whether we could say it here on
South
Bunnies TV.
South Sydney will look to at least complete this set and slow things down and just rip a few minutes off the clock. But
we are PG rated here, Brownie. But you can say that,
chaps. I wouldn't be taking it easy here. I'd be getting Tyrone Munro involved 2 or 3 plays in every tackle here.
Yeah, well, I mean, Redfern Oval is surrounded by 4 corners. I'd be looking for him to be out the back, bending the corner off the back of a bit of shape from Joey Nora, and they
straight off the scrum.
Might be able to get over it. Or Karapani's the other one who's looked pretty likely, Brownie, as well in this second half. As Tyrell Kalakalo throws it out the back, and that's exactly what they didn't want. Kalakalo threw a little catch and pass out the back, and
a bit of push and shove here.
It was a very tough catch for Ty Munro.
Yeah, it probably wasn't the ideal play. Probably should have just given the ball straight to Tyrone Munro. But look, they've come up with an error, and now they have to defend it, because with 6.5 minutes to go, they lead 24 points to 14.
And look, we've got one online here. Mark Gracie said, Dre Mercy, show no mercy in that hit. That's a nice one, Gracie.
Yes.
And shout out to Rabbitohs supporter, absolute legend, Darren Finlay, watching online. He said, try here, and nice to be online. Yeah, well done, mate. Glenn Carpenter, knock on, bra, he said.
That's a good song, that. Show no mercy. Da, 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 da.
We've done enough singing here on Bunnies TV Live, I think, today.
Oh, you can never have enough, chaps.
No, you never have enough. We'll sing Glory, Glory, hopefully, in a couple of
we
minutes.
will.
I know I went off early, but...
Robert J. Cowell, chaps, his question to you. What's happened to Evan Manning?
Evan Manning, he's over at the Glebe Dirty Reds. He's gone to the dark side there, the Roosters feeder club. His father, Shane Secchi Manning, still involved with the girls. He's assistant coach of the girls, and they had a pretty good season, the girls. I think he was pretty chuffed with some of the development of the girls as Archie Donnelly goes low. And we've also got, is that Louis Grosmere going high as they go left. They keep trying to hit this Papali'i, who's a very skillful player, the left centre for the Panthers, and Philp goes back on the inside, and Donnelly comes over and flogs him as well. 19 in the dummy half now. They've got Laycock off the bench to relieve Mason, and Riley Smith off the right foot. Bit of a passage of play here. Hey, Laycock's gone around and scored to the left of the post.
He showed some toe, that bloke.
Mate, he's turned this match, Laycock, out of dummy half. That was a beautiful try by the Panthers. South are just trying to put the cue in the rack here. The error down there from Ty Munro gave him an opportunity to march up the field, and there was a lot of little short passing around the middle of the field. It went...
On the last tackle that was, too, chaps. So...
Well, you've got to chance your arm when you're down by 10 points with only inside 5 minutes left on the clock. And it was a quick play of the ball. Laycock in 19. Took it from dummy half. Got it out the front to Mason. Riley Smith went off the right foot. Put it back to Mason. Mason back to Laycock. It was hooker to hooker. Yep. And they scored to the left-hand side of the post.
And the conversion was successful. And that takes the score now to 24 points to 20 with 4 minutes to go.
Yep.
And, chaps, you went off early. I'm going to say it.
No, he hasn't. Brownie, I'm backing us to hold him here. They've been the better side the whole game. There's 4 minutes now. They're going to have to kick long, defend, and they've only got to hold the ball, boys. They don't have to do anything. They're in front. So they hold the ball, complete a few sets, they get the game won here.
Well, that error down there, chaps, off the scrum on the first tackle was very costly.
Yeah, well, I said we've got to get through our sets and rip 30 or 40 seconds off the clock, and they weren't able to do that, but there's still plenty of time left. We might be able to force a defensive error with a bit of energy here from the Rabbitohs and try and force an error from this Panthers side and try and shut this one out with a try on the deaf. And I know first grade in New South Wales Cup, the Panthers were beaten in the final minutes. Let's hope they don't return the favour here. An SG ball. It's a penalty off the kickoff. A bit of a silly error off the kickoff. Too eager to get up there and force an error.
Yeah, that was, You've got to stay behind the kicker, boys.
That's the rule.
Since 1908, and it still is in 2023.
You can't invite this side in. There's a lot of talent in this Panthers team. They won the SG ball last year. A lot of them blokes have come up to the flag. They won the flag last year. There's a couple of second-year flag players as they turn. Lawson underneath. Grassing tackle by Donnelly, and he comes again along with Louis Grosmere to finish him right off. And the boys have got to try and find some effort and resilience here to try and hold this Panthers side out.
Just over 3 minutes to go.
And Riley Smith liner looking to inspire his team as
good run.
Sagaga.
It's going to be a grandstand finish, boys.
Big push in the face there by Sagaga. They're starting to dominate the play the ball, which was dominated by the Rabbitohs for most of this game. And Tyrell Kalo comes up with a great one-on-one tackle, but he's still standing in the tackle. Papali'i gets the ball out. They're getting their offloads away as they go short here again. It's out in the corner, and Addison Williams has got a kick to put the Panthers in front with only 2 minutes 35 remaining. And it was a nicely worked play down the right-hand side.
Well, it was because Kalo was down on the ground, chaps, and he wasn't back in the defensive line. As we watched the replay, he got caught up in the tackle. He stayed on the ground. He didn't get back in his position, and Penrith, smart enough to go back down that right-hand edge and attack where they were short for numbers and come up with a try right on the right-hand corner.
Yeah, well, they jammed in and they thought they'd shut down the play on the previous attempt down there. And Laycock was able to march his way down to the 10. It went Mason out to Riley Wake, the double try scorer, and they went out to the goal kicker in Addison Williams. And Addison is, so far he's 2 from 4 today, 50%. But between these two teams, there's not much between them, Brownie. The last time they played up at the foot of the mountains was 17-16, a Joey Nora field goal that decided that one.
Well,
Today
chaps,
it's 24 all.
It's 24 all with a minute to go, but we should be winning this game.
Yeah, we had to get through those sets when Riley Smith knocked it on off the kickoff, off the back of that one. And, yeah, they've been had a great comeback here. It's been tries to Luke Philp, Addison Williams, 2 to Riley Wake, 1 to Fletcher Haycock off the bench, the number 19. The Rabbitohs has been tries to Carson Ko, Caelan Bray, Joey Nora, Thomas Fletcher, and halfback Joey Nora has been 4 from 4 from the boot, which brings us to 24 all, 57 seconds left and counting. He's called time off as he steps back, moves in, he strikes it. Looks like he's hooked it to the left here. He hasn't had a great day with the boot. That's 2 from 5 from Addison Williams, and it's 24 all, 41 seconds to go.
Yeah.
As the Rabbitohs.
They're not even going to get a time to play. Are they going to go a short one, or that's it, I think? It's going to be a split the points here, boys, I think.
There's 27 seconds left. The boys aren't under any hurry to get this one underway. They had a 14-point lead with about 10 to go, and Grant Chappell's gone off a bit early. And the commentator's curse is struck here at Redfern Oval, live and free on Bunnies TV. Ty Munro gets us underway. Down into that southern corner, not very deep. Riley Smith, long ball out to Samuel Lane. He throws it along the ground. Out to
he's dropped the ball. Oh!
And that's it, 24 all between the Rabbitohs and the Panthers. What a great game. Great performance by the Rabbitohs here today. Just fell asleep a little bit at the end, but geez, there's been some good performances by our boys.
Oh, well, there has, chaps, and it was a great, exciting game anyway. But I don't think the coach, Tippy O'Connell, will be too happy with his team's performance in the second half. They really deserved to win that game. They should have won the game. But full credit to Penrith. They hung in there and scored some spectacular tries in the second half and forced a 24-all draw.
18-6 at half-time it was, Mavo. And look, there was a couple of blokes shot in the bin. We got out to a decent lead. Ended up having a couple of tries each on the board, but it was the Panthers who stormed home and almost snatched it in the dying seconds.
Well, they did. They had the kick to win the game, and we just want to give a big shout-out to all the viewers out there who jumped online and was live chatting all around the country, from all the Penrith supporters, all the South Sydney supporters, their families, their friends.
Yeah,
big thank you to you guys.
So we said it at the start, both of these teams were 4-2, nothing in it on the ladder, and it proved to be right. They've had a 24-all draw here in round 8.
Oh, it was a great game. I mean,
they're still 4-2.
I hope you enjoyed it out there. We might cut things off.
4-2-1 now. They're 4-2-1.
And we're going to cut things off here on Rabbitohs live and free, and we're going to go to the recap of the Rabbitohs' great escape, we were calling it, out there at Accor Stadium, where we beat the Panthers for the first time since that semi-final a couple of years ago. Thanks for joining us here, live and free.
Yeah, so if
Bunnies TV.
If you're sticking around, just jump onto the YouTube channel. You can watch our recap of that game.